Listen to me and shut up. The path of truth. I'm Text 5581, you already knew that. And I already know who's listening. Cause I hear you sometimes in my brains. You know what I'm talking about. Now last time I spoke with you, I was trying to tell you when I was a kid up in the sandbox and how my parents overreacted to my brains. Being able to hear things looking up and they were too busy looking at my cousins to care about me doing my own thing. That's right, and then I had to go live with my pawpaw for a bit, and then they put me in a refrigerator box. Why? Because years from that time, I would know where my tub is. You know that's true. That's why you gotta go visit truthgods.blogspot.com. That's truthgods.blogspot.com. 562-396-5594. That's 562-396-5594. You know that's the number to call. As sure as my name ain't Text 5581. And I'm working on some new pamphlets to hand out over at the Home Depot this weekend. Hope you all be there. You know where I am. I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to just know. Word of mouth. Now y'all remember, right? Remember how Jesus was telling everyone wars and threats of wars and famines and earthquakes, lots of parts of the world. You're going to be arrested, persecuted, and killed. That's all part of Matthew 24:6-14. You know that. Oh, you didn't know that? Well, I didn't either. No, truth is Jesus himself told me that in my brain. When he was talking with Muhammad. The both of them was having a conversation in my brains and I heard it all. And they were talking about the end times. They were talking about when it's going to end. How is it going to end? Do all faiths think it's going to end the same? That's a good question, ain't it? Text 5581. What's a tribulation? What do they mean by rapture? What do they mean by a second coming? I'm telling you, little JJ's getting so upset. He over there trying to tell me not to talk about this sort of thing, not to talk about the Battle of Armageddon, not to tell you about the button that's going to be hit to press reset. And you better find your replica tub. You better find your tub in the Middle East. I know where mine is. You think all this stuff ain't happening for a good reason? Get that cat out of here. Trying to talk. Got a cat over here dancing around like I didn't know what's going on. The cat wants to find out what's in my brains. I hear animals too, you know that? In fact, last Thursday, the hunting season began. I heard something really crazy in my brains. Help, help, they're after me. It was a deer. I heard a deer, and I walked out of my, started walking. I found that deer, and I brought it right back. You know, sometimes the Antichrist gets into my brains too. It's not just the good people, it's the bad people, it's all kinds of people. It's not just the dead, it's the living too. I hear it all. They come right in. It's not just humans, it's alien life forms too, and animals and your fictionalized characters. That's right, you didn't know that either, did you? I have like One Punch Man and Porky Pig up my head sometimes. I don't even know what to think of it. Truthgods.blogspot.com. That's truth as in truth. Gods, G-O-D-S. I don't use a Z or anything stupid like that. Truthgods.blogspot.com. You can also send me an email, why don't you? You want to get all personal, don't you? You go ahead and you send it to huntwork@gmail.com. I'll say it again, huntwork@gmail.com. We got a lot of work to do in my brains. 562-396-5594. 562-396-5594. How many times I gotta tell y'all do that? You know I'm gonna be at the Home Depot over the weekends. You know, you'll probably see me in your neighborhood sometime when you're just out doing your things. You're going to hear me talking in your neighborhood about my brains and how I can hear everything that's going on. Remember Peter 3:10? That's the day the Lord, he said, that's when the day the Lord is going to come unexpectedly as a thief. You didn't know that, did you? You don't remember none of that stuff. That's why it's all my brains. People just can't believe it. One day I'm talking to Jesus, another day he's talking to Muhammad, next day I'm hearing from Zoltar. You know what I'm saying? And I know where W.C. Fields tell me about his take on comedy today. It's like having an audiobook in my own brains. I hear from lots of people. Remember Margaret Thatcher? Over there she was the Prime Minister. Supreme Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. She did her thing over in the UK's. Lady Diana, you should hear Lady Diana talk. That princess talk to me. You didn't know that, did you? Go ahead, you can ask me anything. I know that they have their plans as well for when that reset button's gonna be hit. You don't think they do you? You better listen up right now, because that voices in my brains, I hear it all the time. I'm hearing all them brains, and that's why I'm here to tell you. I can't talk back to them. Please stop sending me these voicemails asking me to ask something you had something you had a question that. No, I don't do that. I'm just a beacon of light for all the words to come in. So listen to me and shut up. This is the path of truth. You know that. Now you know that there are other beings out there, right? You can't be that naive. You can't be that naive. You gotta be a little smarter than that. I know you're smart because you're listening to this show. And I know I know the word is getting spread. I know I have my 16, 17 people living here. They've been spreading the word to get out there. They hand out the pamphlets and everything else I've been working on. I'm working on some new stuff for the truthgods.blogspot.com. You don't think I am, do you? Soon I'm gonna have some stuff over there on Amazon. No one thought I could do that either. Isn't that funny? That's a good feeling. Isn't that funny? Let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. When you're able to do that which they think you cannot do, and you do, and you got all them voices in your brains, ain't nothing finer than that. Ain't nothing finer than to be in heaven's diner. 562-396-5594. Now let me tell y'all something. You know, I'm talking about here about the end times and the rapture and the tribulations. But what happens with the other faiths? What about them Jews? What about those who practice Muslim faith? What about the Protestants? What about the Buddhas? What about those who practice other things? You think the Hindus have a plan for when that button's gonna be hit? They all do. They tell me that. That's why they all do. You'd have to be a sock puppet not to think they ain't thinking of some things like the future and when it's gonna be hit. That's why I keep telling you people, gotta listen to me, my brothers and sisters out there in the Middle East is your tub. And in that tub is your salvation. You have to find it. You knew that. I told y'all for one day, that first one day of this, when I started crusading, doing my thing, getting the word out about my brains, I told everybody, and I continue to tell the truth. I continue to tell how they're all talking about the Battle of Armageddon. Apostle John, just can't believe it. Apostle John was telling me some things. He broke his sandals. He was walking up a rock or some sort of rock formation trying to get something, right? And he broke his sandal. Just popped right off. He was telling me Apostle John didn't know what to do. He starts telling me about the Battle of Armageddon. I'm thinking to myself, man, this guy just blew out his sandal. Now he's telling me about the Battle of Armageddon. Isn't that something? That's the judgment seat of Christ. You know about that, right? All the Christians are going to appear before Jesus to be rewarded for their works and their love and their devotion. But we'll see what happens, because when that button pressed, you're going to have to hurry real quick. Don't you know that time is of the essence? Don't you know that? That's why I was trying for years to get out of that oversized refrigerator box left right in front of my school. I tried with all my mind, kept pushing and pushing. It became sort of a metaphor. How do you pronounce it? It's like a metaphor for all the things that done wrong and all the tribulations and all the things I have to go through in my life just to get to this point where I'm telling you about my brains. Text 5581, they tell me. Text, I don't know, brother. You know, I want to believe that you hear all this stuff in your brains, but you can't talk to them, right? This is supposed to be a bad thing, right? You see, this is the first thing that a non-believer or someone who's skeptical will tell you. Oh, but you can't do that, right? You can do this, but you can't do that. That's irrelevant. Don't let anyone tell you can do this, but you can't do that, right? Don't let anyone try and test you. Don't let anyone take away the gift that's yours, because that thing is yours. Throwing potato salad at me like I don't know which way is up. You believe in Christ. You believe in Muhammad. You can believe in Judaism. You can believe in Hinduism. You can believe in any faith. You can do it. I'm just here to help you, let you know that it's all there. It's all there. All of your fates. I hear what your fates. I hear what all these leaders is talking about in my brain. I hear all the decisions they're trying to make. I heard, you know what I heard? I heard when our President of the United States, Joe Biden, went in my ear trying to consider what to do. They were trying to get him out, remember? And then he did. He stepped down. Now they got Vice President Harris running. You know what? I knew that was going to happen. It was in my brains. TruthGods.blogspot.com. That's 562-396-5594. I don't know what you're waiting for. You can tell me anything you want. I'll play it on the air and I might answer you. There's a lot going up in my brains. That's why my family was scared. That's what scares people. That's what gets people to throw tofu and things at me when I'm in the park trying to talk. You do whatever you want. You can have your nice potluck picnics with pumpkins, with Peter and Paul and Mary. I don't even care. You can even call Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat. I'm doing my thing. If you don't like it, don't get me in trouble. Just move on. That's all you have to do is just move on. Oh, man. See? Someone left that stove on. You know what? You just remember, folks, you got to find out where your tub is. I told you to turn that thing off before I even started doing the show today. Now